Good evening, everyone. I'll call the City Council to order at 8 o'clock on Monday evening, October 7th, 2024. This meeting is being recorded. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This evening we have 13 items on the agenda, and I will ask the clerk to please read agenda item number 1.
Minutes of the City Council meeting, September 23rd, 2024.
Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to place the minutes on file. Accept and place the minutes on.
Motion made and second, accept and place on file the minutes. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The minutes are filed 11-0. Agenda item number 2.
Now is the time for the public hearing on the application for special permit from Attorney Brian Falk on behalf of BMB Health and Nutrition LLC for a new fitness, wellness, and nutrition center with a gym, cafeteria-style food service, locker rooms, and ancillary wellness facilities located on the first floor of an existing multi-tenant commercial building at 397 William Street, order number 24-100-9253.
Okay, this public hearing will be taken up in 4 stages. First, with the public speaking in favor, starting with the applicant. Second, questions from the public. Third, public speaking in opposition. And fourth, questions from the City Council. So I'll open the first part of the public hearing with the public speaking in favor, starting with the applicant. Please state your name and address for the record.
Thank you, President Hassing, councilors. For the record, Brian Falk from Myrick O'Connell, 100 Front Street in Worcester, appearing on behalf of the applicant, BMB Health and Nutrition. With me tonight is our owner, Eduardo Valentini. Also with us is our architect, Seth Holden, who can address questions you may have. Seeking a special permit to operate a health and nutrition center at 397 William Street. Eduardo currently operates BMB in a smaller space in Westboro. As a Marlborough resident, he's excited to relocate and expand his business and bring something new and unique to the city. So to orient you, this is 397 Williams, marked with the red dot on the city zoning map there. On the west side of William Street, just below Forest Street. Properties in the city's limited industrial zoning district. This is an existing commercial property, large office building, and parking area. The image you have there is of the northern entrance driveway. The first one you encounter as you head south on William Street from Forest. There's a second driveway to the site as well along the southern property line, also onto William Street. This is the existing site plan and an aerial view of the property. Property was developed in the mid-1980s. We understand that it's been vacant for several years, up until recently. Building has 4 large tenant spaces, and the site has over 600 parking spaces. And this is the rear of the building, which would be the entrance to B&B's facility. B&B will be leasing approximately half of the building's ground floor, 28,000 square feet. And this is, you have this in your special permit application materials. This is the tenant fit out of our leased space. And same image there. Eduardo is going to be bringing his gym and fitness center from Westboro to this site, but he's going to be significantly expanding B&B's service offerings for clients. In addition to the traditional gym and fitness center with state-of-the-art fitness equipment, B&B will have jacuzzis, saunas, cold plunge pools. He will offer spa services such as massage, facials, manicures, pedicures. In addition, B&B will have a cafe-style restaurant for dine-in or take-out. The food service will also include weekly meal planning services for clients. B&B will also have a non-alcoholic bar called Balance with coffees and a variety of shakes and juices. Having all of these services all under one roof will set B&B apart from other fitness centers in the area and will be a unique gathering place in the city. B&B will also help revitalize a vacant property. We know that vacant commercial properties can pose public safety concerns. Having an active 7-day-a-week operation at this property will be a good improvement to both the property and the neighborhood. We know that Abba Church will be leasing space in the building as well. That's a very complimentary co-tenant. Their busiest day, Sunday, happens to be B&B's slowest day as a health facility. So good complementary uses in a site that has more than ample parking. Quite honestly, it's probably overparked based on the time period in which it was built. We met informally with the City Site Plan Committee on September 26th, and we look forward to seeing the committee's comments and advice to the Urban Affairs Committee. In addition to the usual abutter notices, we also mailed out letters to our residential neighbors in the area to introduce ourselves, provide contact information for Eduardo. He's looking to be a good neighbor and really excited to bring his business to the city. That concludes our formal presentation. Happy to take your questions, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you, Attorney Falk. Are there any other members of the public speaking in favor? Any other members of the public speaking in favor? Any other members of the public speaking in favor? Hearing none, I close that portion of the public hearing. Are there any questions from the public? Any questions from the public? Any questions from the public? Hearing none, I close that portion of the public hearing. Any members of the public speaking in opposition? Any members of the public speaking in opposition? Members of the public speaking in opposition? Hearing none, I close that portion of the public hearing. Questions from the City Council? Councilor Navin.
Thank you, Mr. President. Curious to know how long the build-out will be from what is currently there to get you into a place where you can open.
The tenant fit-out construction time?
3 to 4 months. Approximately 3 to 4 months for both sides.
Councilor Vital.
Thank you, Mr. President. What are the hours of operation that you looked at?
Well, I'd like to start off with 5 a.m. to 10 p.m., see how that goes. I would love to transition potentially into a 24-hour because there really isn't anything like that around here, but, you know, that's something way down the road.
Thank you, sir.
Councilor Doucette.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. So your existing business in Westboro is going to relocate to here? Is that the intent?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
I have a small boutique gym in Westboro right now, and I'm just going to move the whole operation to Marlborough.
Okay. So this is an interesting location because William Street is not, it's somewhat off the beaten path. So how do you expect to attract customers? Are you going to be going, you're going to have to do some sort of
We're
outreach?
going to be doing a lot of marketing, a lot of B2B, going to all. I actually live at the Point.
Okay.
So I'm already in good with them. I've spoke with the Lodge. I've spoke with other apartment complexes around
Okay.
there, and they're all very excited about it and ready to be able to present it to their
Excellent.
residents.
Okay, great. Good news. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilor Doucette. Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Attorney Falk. Quick question on currently with BMB now. Is your current staff now trained in first aid?
Yeah, I'm the only one. I'm a one of one. I'm a one-man band currently right now, but yes, I am, and everybody else will be.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilor Landis.
Thank you, Mr. President. What would be the maximum number of people you'd want to have there at one time?
I would expect 300 would probably be the most at the peak hours, and that's the combination of the restaurant and the gym.
Yeah, very good. That's interesting. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilor Ficillo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you both for being here. Just a quick question regarding the cold plunge pools. Are those going to be individual pools, like a tub, or is it actually going to be a pool that people
No,
can
it
sit
will
in?
be. They will be individual tubs.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilor Orm.
Thank you, Mr. President. The cafe that you have has quite a few tables. Are you going to have a full kitchen for that, or is that just to hang out in?
So the cafe is going to be really a big hangout area. Majority of the space, there will be pool tables, foosball tables, dartboards. There's going to be a lounge area with fun board games for, so interactive board games, Then we have the bar, and the kitchen will take up about 2,200 square feet of the 10,000.
And are you looking at pub-style menu or something like that?
It will be a plant-based menu.
Okay.
Yes, we are completely cruelty-free at B&B. All the facials, manicures, pedicures, all that kind of stuff will be cruelty-free as well. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting plant-based menu. I'm trying to spark interest with other people and get them excited about eating plant-based.
Great. I just worry sometimes that you're pretty far away from most of your residential neighbors there, that the odors that might come off a fryer later or a grill and so forth.
There will be very, very minimal frying going on in that establishment.
That's fine, but no, I'm glad to hear you're going plant-based. My son would be very happy. He was a vegetarian. So,
Excellent.
and I've been to a few of them in Cambridge, and
Yeah, there's
not
actually
bad.
there's
pretty good actually.
There's quite a population of vegetarian and plant-based eaters around the area. So we have a lot of Asian influence. So I have a lot of Indian and Asian friends that are very, very excited about it. So.
And then the other question was on the 24 hours, if you get to that point, is just when people enter and leave, will there be light pollution over to the abutters, the residential neighbors across the street from you?
There shouldn't be, because the entrance will be in the back, so that it should not be an issue.
Just the exit would be coming out, right? So it's their houses?
Correct.
Yeah, so just that would be the only consideration that you may want to look into, just so you don't have car lights flashing over the street. And so
Okay,
forth.
absolutely.
That would be the concern. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
President.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Preciado.
Thank you for being here. Do you have any plans to address like potential traffic issues at your site? Any plans to work with the owners of the building to help improve, either visibility or, like Councilor Orm said, dimming lights and making sure that doesn't spill over to neighborhoods?
Absolutely. I'm very open to helping in any way I can to mitigate traffic or make it easier flow. I was thinking potentially even a one-way traffic flow in the parking lot would be able to help, and majority of, if we had the southern entrance leading out, then the headlights, I don't think that they would be hitting a house over there. I'm not sure yet. I would have to go over there, but like I said, willing to help and talk about any kind of issues that there might be with traffic.
Do you also have any plans to work with the retirement community down the street?
With
The community down the street, I believe it's a retirement community.
Oh, absolutely. One plan that I do have is I would love to be able to bus people over from the old folks' homes. Sorry, and to get them over and moving, and so that's definitely a plan. I definitely want to be a big part of the community and help out as many people as I can.
The elderly community.
Yes.
You also have a large lot there. Would you have any plans to utilize the full extent of the lot aside from parking?
Besides parking, I do have a dream for, on the side, there's quite a large area of space that obviously this would have to be talked to with the owners and the landlord. But I would love to put like a community greenhouse over there, and it's something that's interactive and something that's positive for the community. People can learn how to grow their own stuff.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Councilor Landis.
Be a quickie, Mr. President. Speaking of old folks, do you need a membership, or could I walk in off the street?
I can't believe I said that. I'm very sorry. I got lost for words. I'm a little nervous. There would be discounted memberships, and of course, if if I have anyone that is taking any personal training, one-on-one training with me or group classes, then the membership is rolled in with that.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome to Marlborough. I think this will be an interesting use of the building. It's my understanding that there is a tenant looking to move a church into the site using the second floor of part of the building.
Yep.
I know they've been to site plan, so there will be some shared parking that I guess site plan will have to coordinate all of that information. So I know you were at informal review, and to some of the counselors' concerns, I think landscaping and drainage were issues that were brought up, so we can talk about that when we get the, either at site plan for the building owner to take care of, or as conditions as part of the special permit, we can kind of work through all of that. I am curious, I know in Westboro, you're currently open at 5:30 in the morning. We just did a beginning of a special permit for a pickleball facility that we gave them some hours that are, I think we did
5:30 to 12.
5:30. So we were trying to start hours of this kind of a facility. So again, we can talk about that at Urban Affairs when we get there. And I think other than that, as soon as Attorney Falk gets us the special permit order, we can set up a meeting and get going. Thank you.
And I'll just remind councilors, Eduardo's renting the space. He doesn't own the property, so the building owner's responsible for the parking, the lighting, the drainage, the sewer. That's not Eduardo's responsibility, but, you know, site plan's already aware of that and working on that now. Are there any other councilors with any questions? Any other councilors with questions? Any other councilors with questions? Seeing none, I close that part of the public hearing and the entire public hearing, and this is in Urban Affairs. Thank you, Attorney.
Thank you very much.
You good?
Yes, sir.
Agenda item number 3.
Communication from Councilors Ossing and Nabin regarding municipal aggregation September 2024 update.
Councilor Nabin.
Thank you, Mr. President. Hard to believe it's been 3 months since we've had one of these updates. I know everybody has been waiting anxiously for it. In the second quarter of 2024, Marlborough residential electricity users who are participating in the aggregation program have saved over $884,000. This is the second quarter with the city's new contract with First Point Power, which began in February and will run through November of 2025. The rate for people participating in the program is 14 cents per kilowatt hour, which is lower than National Grid's basic winter rate of 18 cents per kilowatt hour. That runs until July of 2024, as well with the National Grid basic service summer rate of 16 cents, which will be in effect from August of 24 through January of 25. Importantly, as folks here are well aware, this contains 100% renewable energy, and that rate, it makes it even more competitive than National Grid's green options. It's projected that ratepayers will save approximately $2.6 million in calendar year 2024, and since this program started in 2007, ratepayers have saved over $36 million. So I think we should all be proud for the work we've done here, and then for the residents who are taking part in this program, we're saving quite a bit of money. With that, a motion to accept and place on file.
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file the communication. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Communications filed 11-0. Agenda item number 4.
Communication from City Solicitor Jason Grossfield, regarding proposed zoning ordinance amendment to Chapter 650 zoning to add a new section, the multifamily MBTA Housing Overlay District, relative to multifamily zoning requirements for MBTA communities, in proper legal form, order number 2324-100, 8909C.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move this item to reports of committees.
Motion made and seconded to move this item to reports of committee. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? This is going to reports of committee 11-0. Agenda item number 5.
Communication from Assistant City Solicitor Jeremy McManus regarding application from Viewpoint Sign and Awning on behalf of Best Western Royal Plaza Hotel for replacement of a freestanding EMC sign at 181 Boston Post Road West in proper legal form, order number 23-100, 9035A.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move this item to reports of committees.
Motion made and seconded to move this item to reports of committee. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? This is going to reports of committee 11-0. Agenda item number 6.
Communication from City Clerk Stephen Kerrigan regarding state election call.
Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to accept and place on file the communication and to please have the clerk read the correspondence.
would be so kind as to read the
In
correspondence.
the name of the Commonwealth, you are hereby required and to notify and warn the inhabitants of the city of Marlborough who are qualified to vote in elections to vote at Ward 1, Precinct 1 and 1A and 2 at the Francis J. Kane School at 520 Farm Road. Ward 2, Precincts 1, 2, and 2A at the Francis J. Kane School, 520 Farm Road. Ward 3, Precinct 1 at the Senior Center, 40 New Street. Ward 3, Precinct 2 at the Raymond J. Richer School, 80 Foley Road. Ward 4, Precinct 1 and 2 at the Senior Center at 40 New Street. Ward 5, Precinct 1 and 2 at the Masonic Lodge at 8 Newton Street. Ward 6, Precinct 1 and 2 at the First Lieutenant Charles W. Whitcomb School, 25 Union Street. And Ward 7, Precincts 1 and 2A at the Hildreth School, 85 Sawin Street. On Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, then and there for the purpose of casting their votes in the state election for candidates for the following offices. Electors of President for these United States, President and Vice President for these United States, Senator in Congress for this Commonwealth, Representative in Congress for the 3rd District, Counselor for the 3rd District, Senator in General Court for the Middlesex and Worcester District, Representative in the General Court for the 4th Middlesex District, Representative in the General Court for the 13th Middlesex District, Clerk of Courts for Middlesex County, Register of Deeds for the Middlesex Southern District. There are 5 ballot questions, and in addition, it is further ordered that the polling places legally designated by the City Council will be open at 7 o'clock in the forenoon and be closed at 8 o'clock in the evening, and the City Clerk being is hereby authorized to cause notice be given of this publication by order in local newspaper and by posting a copy of the same in a conspicuous place in the office of the City Clerk.
On the motion to accept and place on file the communication from the city clerk, any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Communication is filed 11-0. Agenda item number 7.
Communication from City Clerk Stephen Kerrigan regarding election information, 2024 state election.
Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to accept and place on file the communication, and please have the clerk read the communication.
We'll have the clerk read the communication, and please pay attention.
Election information for the state election, November 5th, 2024. Honorable President Ossian and Councilors, I wanted to provide the City Council and the residents of Marlborough with some important dates to remember regarding the state election that will take place on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. In-person early voting will begin on Saturday, October 19th, 2024, and continue to Friday, November 1st, 2024. The schedule of hours is attached to the letter and posted on the city website, and I encourage everyone to please view the hours. They are plentiful. The last day to register to vote is Saturday, October 26th, 2024. Residents can visit our office up till 5 p.m., or they can register online at registertovotema.com. And the last day to request an absentee or vote by mail ballot is Tuesday, October 29th, 2024 at 5 p.m. However, if I may, I would encourage everyone to please request them sooner, as we all know there is some trouble with the U.S. Postal Service. Ballots have been just delivered to our office late Friday afternoon, and we have had a team of people in today, and they will be in tomorrow. I do anticipate all of them being out, hopefully by Wednesday at the absolute latest. And ballots can be returned once residents receive them several ways. They can mail it back to our office, they can hand deliver it back to our office, or they can drop it in the drop boxes at City Hall. And again, all polling locations will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Tuesday, November 5th. Thank you.
And just to help the city clerk out, they've been fielding a lot of phone calls looking for where is my ballot. They literally just received them. There's about 6,000 plus?
7,000.
7,000 plus going out. So that's over a quarter of our voters will be voting by mail. So those ballots will be going out early next week. So you should see them in your mailboxes. So you don't have to call the clerk's office. The ballots are coming. On the motion to accept and place on file the communication, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The communication is filed 11-0. Agenda item number 8.
Communication from the Planning Board regarding favorable recommendation of the proposed zoning amendment to Chapter 650 to add a new section to create the multifamily MBTA housing overlay district.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to accept and place on file the communication from the Planning Board.
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file the communication from the Planning Board. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The communication is filed 11-0. Agenda item number 9.
Petition of Mass Electric and Verizon New England to install one joint-owned pole on Broad Street, beginning at a point approximately 200 feet northwest of the center line of the intersection of West Main Street. National Grid to install a 45-foot Class 2 midspan pole to support a 900 kVAr advanced cap bank.
Councilor Landers.
Thank you, Mr. President. A motion to refer to Public Service Committee And also set a date for the public hearing.
How about if we just set a public hearing and then we'll determine if it goes to public service after the public hearing, if Tom says we're good to go?
Yeah, okay.
Is that better?
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Motion made and seconded to set a public hearing for October 21st. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? We'll have a public hearing on October 21st for the Mass Electric poll request. Vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 10.
Communication from Albert Costa regarding changes to site plan at 28 South Bolton Street.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. So the city councilors have received the communication from Mr. Costa. I think they also all received a communication from Bill Payton from the Building Department. I would like to refer this to Urban Affairs so we can have a conversation, hopefully with both of them, to make sure we're all on the same page and see if anything needs to be done going forward.
Motion made and seconded, refer the communication to the Urban Affairs Committee. Any discussion on the motion? Councilor Doucette.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We've seen quite a few of these go through the city council. I want to make note that this communication actually was a very detailed explanation of what they're doing, and I got to at least give the guy credit for coming through and telling us what's going on. So thank you for him.
Well said, Councilor Doucette. Any further discussion on the motion to accept and place on file, no, to refer to Urban Affairs? Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? This is going to Urban Affairs, 11-0. Agenda item number 10.
Minutes of boards, commissions, and committees.
Councilor Doucette.
Mr. President. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file the minutes of the boards, commissions, and committees.
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file all the minutes. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Opposed? The minutes are filed, 11-0. Reports of committees. Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. So the City Council Urban Affairs Committee has met twice since our last meeting. The first date was on September 24th, where we had two items on our agenda. The first one was order number 23-109-035, a communication from Viewpoint Sign and Awning on behalf of Best Western Royal Plaza Hotel for replacement of the freestanding EMC sign at 181 Boston Post Road West. We had Mr. Correa, the Best Western General Manager, at the meeting. I read through the special permit language. There were a couple of changes that were agreed upon by the Urban Affairs Committee, and Councilor Doucette moved to recommend approval of the decision on the LED sign special permit. It is on our agenda this evening, as was noted, so I would like to ask for suspension so that we can accept the communication and vote on the permit. Do you want to
do that now?
I can go through this one and we can take it up after I finish this report.
Yeah, you can finish your
if you
report and then
want.
we'll take up all your suspensions.
The second order was 24-109-2228, an application for a special permit from Attorney Pamela Brown on behalf of Ambidextrous Ventures LLC for a proposed pickleball facility with 6 indoor courts, a small practice court, a pro shop, and restroom facilities, along with an indoor court, picnic area, and 76 parking spaces to be constructed at 119 Airport Boulevard, Unit 11. My report delineates multiple items that were discussed, and many of them were referred to the solicitor, with Attorney Brown supposed to be working together. As I stated, we hope to have it on the agenda tonight, but it's not. Councilor Doucette did recommend approval of the decision to grant a special permit as amended. It was seconded and carried 5-0. Attorney Brown has communicated with us, and hopefully she and the solicitor will get together, and this will be on our next agenda. Our next council meeting. So if we can, I can ask for suspension to take up the order.
Do you want to do it? You want to read your last report for the MBTA, or do you want to take them all?
You want to take them one date at a time?
Tell me what you'd like. You want one date at a time? All right, there's been a motion made and seconded to suspend the rules for order number 9035, the Best Western sign special permit, and accept the correspondence from the solicitor. On the motion to suspend the rules, all those in favor? Opposed? Suspension carries 11-0. Councilor Roby.
Move the recommendation of committee, which is to approve the decision on the LED sign special permit.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the special permit for the LED sign permit for the Best Western. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none. It's a roll call vote. I'll ask the clerk to please read the conditions first.
City Council pursuant to its authority under Section 526-13 of the sign ordinance hereby grants to the applicant an LED sign special permit for the sign, subject to the following conditions, which conditions shall be binding on the applicant, its successors, and/or signs. 1, the sign shall be operated in accordance with the sign ordinance of the City of Marlborough, including that the sign shall at no time show or depict any picture, whether moving or static, pursuant to 526-13B8 of the sign ordinance. 2, all plans and other documentation provided by the applicant as part of the application and is amended during the application hearing process before the City Council and/or the City Council's Urban Affairs Committee are incorporated into and become part of this LED sign special permit and become conditions and requirements of the same unless otherwise altered by the City Council.
Okay, you heard the conditions. Are there any further discussions on the conditions? There's been a motion made and seconded to approve. This is a roll call vote. A yes vote is to approve the sign special permit. A no vote is to deny. We'll ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilor Landers.
Yes.
Councilor Doucette.
Yes.
Councilor Preciado.
Yes.
Councilor Oram.
Yes.
Councilor Irish.
Yes.
Councilor Vidal.
Yes.
Councilor Navin.
Yes.
Councilor Fricillo.
Yes.
Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Councilor Ossing.
Yes.
Councilor Roby.
Yes.
11 yeas, sir.
The special permit for the sign at the Best Western Hotel is approved by a vote of 11 in favor, none opposed. Do you want to make a motion just to accept and place on file the solicitor?
I thought you had done that,
Is that-
but
did that all for-
well, you said
Okay, okay,
suspend, I
nope.
can, okay.
I'm good. You may continue.
All right, on September 30th, the Urban Affairs and Housing Committee met again. We took up order number 2324, 108-909B, the proposed zoning amendment to Chapter 650 zoning to add a new 37A multifamily MBTA housing overlay district relative to multifamily zoning requirements for the MBTA communities. City Council had a new draft language and a map. We went through them at the Urban Affairs Committee meeting. We made 2 minor changes. I will note that in the solicitor's letter, he does state that he also did add language that makes these units affordable in perpetuity. I had questioned when we removed the reference to our 26A, which is affordable housing, whether they would also be there. So Councilor Navin moved to recommend approval of the draft language as amended for order number 2324, 108-909B to add in a new section 37A, multifamily MBTA housing overlay district. It was seconded and the vote carried 5-0. So again, I would ask for a suspension to take this up tonight.
Motion made and seconded to suspend the rules to take up this item this evening. Any discussion on the suspension? All those in favor? Opposed? Suspension carries 11-0. Councilor Roby.
So move to accept and place on file the communication from the solicitor, and then move to approve the zoning amendment to add in a new 37A.
On the first motion to accept and place on file the communication from the solicitor, any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The communication is filed 11-0. On the second one, the motion to approve the zoning change. Is there any discussion on approving the zoning change? Seeing none, this has to go through 4 stages. All those in favor of suspending the first reading and approving the second, please signify. That passes 11-0. All those in favor of the passage to be enrolled, please signify. That passes 11-0. All those in favor of the passage to be ordained, please signify. That passes 11-0. Is there any objection to passage in one evening? Hearing none, the MBTA zoning ordinance is approved 11-0. Well done, Councilor Roby.
I was just going to say the same thing. I would like to thank the councilors for their indulgence in all of this and for their positive vote this evening. So we are finished with our job. Thank you.
Well, the solicitor has some work to do to get to the state, but we are done. Any other reports of committees? Everybody's good? Moving on to agenda item number 12.
Order number 24-100-9204C3, a communication from Mayor Dumas with recreational facilities bond in the amount of $1 million for the construction, reconstruction, and/or improvement of municipal pools, splash pads, and recreational facilities. The recommendation of the Finance Committee is to deny.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move the recommendation of committee to deny, please.
Motion's made and seconded to deny the bond. So a yes vote is to deny the bond, and this is just a simple show of hands. All those in favor of denying the bond is denied, 11-0. Agenda item number 13.
Order number 24-100-9266, transfer request from undesignated fund to recreation facilities in the amount of $858,941 for the purpose of reconstruction of the Farrell Wading Pool. The matter was postponed to the October 7th, 2024 City Council meeting.
Councilor Preciado.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to postpone until the next meeting, October 21st, in anticipation for the plans for the Ward Park pool as well. Thank you.
Motion made and seconded to postpone this item to the October 21st City Council meeting. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries to postpone this item to the October 21st City Council meeting. The vote is 11-0. Councilor Naven.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to adjourn.
Motion's made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor? Opposed? We are adjourned at 8:35. Thank you, everyone.